software like Blogger or Bebo or Facebook, through to the publishing spaces like Flickr, etc., to the kind of watching spaces of cinema, TV, and big gigs. We inhabit a number of different social spaces, some of which are facilitated by technology, some of which aren't. But I think increasingly over the next kind of few decades, we will not share as a culture, as a society, as a country, however you wish to describe the word public, or whatever kind of boundary you wish to put around that word. The idea of public service in the sense of media culture is going to go through an incredibly difficult transition, because of those two words, public and service, both of them are really up for grabs. Public does not mean the same that it did throughout most of the 20th century now. We are in digital publics, plural, and our understanding of the services that we want in those spaces range from incredibly anonymous technological services that will just facilitate our own demands and needs to incredibly paternalistic services where we feel like our rights have to be met through public bodies. And in a way, the play of these forces, our understanding of what public institutions should deliver to us, and our kind of ego-driven need to have them met in ways in which those services seem invisible, is the big kind of challenge over the next 20 or 30 years. We're seeing it in institutions across the realm of the public services. You know, the way in which we want more individualistic healthcare, and yet still decry choice when it's kind of parroted to us by politicians. The way in which we moan about the standards of schools, and yet will happily move and game the system to find the schools that we want. This difference between our understanding of our responsibilities to a public domain and our individualistic needs, I think, is the crisis over the next 20 or 30 years. The challenge for institutions is really to look at one very, very important word, which I think is behind a lot of the conversation, the points you were bringing up about high culture, about